Hi, I'm Rob, and today we're at the Hinton Arms in New Cheriton. This pub's a super pub, very friendly landlord called Roger. She owns the pub, and it's all set out for walkers. There's a walk to see the Cheriton battlefields from March 1644. That's 5 or 6 miles. There's a leaflet actually on the pub's website. But today we're doing a little short one just to see the source of the River Itchen and to have a look at Hinton Ampner House. So stick with me for a little toddle around New Cheriton. From the pub door, we're going across the A272 to go through this kissing gate here behind the houses. And already to our left we can see a little stream forming from the springs that give birth to the River Itchen. Incredibly clear spring water. Yeah, kissing gate. Let's take a little passageway between the fences of the houses. And eventually we emerge out onto the road up to Old Cheriton. Old Cheriton is that way, but we're turning left. It's quite amazing really how quickly the springs form quite a discernible stream, and it's got all the characteristics of the Itchen all the way through. It's just lovely and clear, pure water. Now this is a house that I know really well. It says on the sign the Old Cheriton shop. Well, when I knew it, it was the Old Cheriton, well, it wasn't the Old Cheriton stores, it was just Cheriton stores. And that was in the 70s, and it was run by a lady called Julie Airy. Now Julie was a lovely lady, and it was never too much trouble to make a cup of tea, and we always had a cup of tea every Saturday morning. I used to go out on the bread vans, Mother's Pride bread vans, with Norman Warwick, who's coincidentally the uncle to Derek Warwick, the racing driver. And we used to call in at Cheriton stores and see Julie and have a cup of tea every Saturday. Happy memories. Anyway, onwards, and we're going to cross over the crossroads. So you can see another little body of water there from the springs. Now according to the maps, the source of the River Itchen is all up the right hand side of this road which leads off to Kilmerston. But in actual fact there are springs all around Cheriton that feed into the Itchen. But this is the officially recognised birthplace of the River Itchen. The springs are all along the foot of the hills there, where the chalk meets the clay, and there's little weaknesses in the ground, so the water comes bubbling up from the aquifers to form the springs. Now the Itchen is well renowned as a fly fishery. Ask a fly fisherman anywhere in the world and they know about the Itchen and they know about the test. And it starts here, it's a triple SI, lots of endangered species in there, Atlantic salmon, several various trouts, certain sort of crayfish, that sort of thing. And it runs 28 miles from here to Southampton, where it comes out at the dock head in Southampton docks, mixes with the River Test and becomes Southampton water, and then into the Solent, then into the sea. And the old sheep are loving it. We've come along the lane and we've reached a very tight S-bend. You can see the chevrons for sharp bend. The road goes off that way, but if you look on the chevrons there's a yellow arrow which points its way down the right of way. There's also a post there that you could miss, but anyway, we're heading down here. A lovely place for moles. Just a minute ago there was a chiff-chaff and there was a pheasant making a lot of noise, but they've all gone very quiet since I came here. I was hoping to get it. It was a lovely, lovely sound. So at this point in the path on the left we can see Hinton Ampner House. Now Hinton Ampner House is a Neo-Georgian Grade 2 listed building. This particular house was built in 1793 and then remodelled in 1867. So I believe it was a family called the Stukelys or something that owned it originally, but it was soon taken over by the Dutton family, and Ralph Dutton inherited it. He was the last Dutton of the line, and between 1936 and 39 he remodelled it, and so a lot of this is 20th century that you see, but he remodelled it based on what it would look like at that scale when it was built in 1793. Anyway, it's had quite a mixed life, and during the Second World War it was actually the home to Portsmouth Girls' School, who obviously evacuated out of Portsmouth because of the terrible bombing. 1960 there was a really bad fire which almost burnt it down, but now it's looked after by the National Trust. Ralph died in 1985 and the Trust took over and doing a very fine job of it. Now if you've got a membership you can go in there for nothing. If not, you can pay and have a look, and as this is such a short walk and I've got a membership, I'm going to take you in and have a look inside. Should be nice actually, because it's coming up to Christmas, so hopefully there's a Christmas tree in there or two. We reach the kissing gate on the right, which we ignore because we're going to turn left up the slope through the gate to walk alongside Hinton Ampner Park. Now the Battle of Cheriton took place in March 1644, and William Waller's army, the Parliamentarian army, were camped somewhere around here, possibly even here, and they were going to join the Royalist army that were camped in Alresford up on Cheriton Down. A bloody battle ensued, and eventually the Parliamentarians came out well on top. Now the leaves are off the trees, you can see the boughs of mistletoe just growing up there wild in the trees. Now it's an English tradition at Christmas that you hang up a sprig of mistletoe and you can have a kiss under it. There's nobody about. So I escape any kisses today. Lovely views. The first part of the Hinton Ampner refers to a high settlement. The Ampner bit I think is something to do with priories or religion or something. But high settlement certainly fits. So here we are at the top of the slope. We're going to go through this gate, and because I'm a member I'm going to go in, have a look at the church, have a look at the house. As I say, you can pay to go in if you're not a member, and it's only a short walk, so it's well worth a nice lengthy visit. It'll be a nice day out. Let's have a look at All Saints Church. It's mainly 13th century, and of course is the church not only for the village but for the house as well. So let's have a look inside. This is All Saints Church, Hinton Ampner. And there we are, that was the original family, and it was the Stukely family. And there's the last resting place of Ralph Dutton, who was the 8th Baron of Sherborne, and generously left the Hinton Ampner estate to the National Trust. This is the modern 18th century house. The original house was a Tudor mansion, thought to be in an E shape, and that was actually situated just north of the house as it is now, on this sort of orchard. And I think it was 1543 it was built, but it became notorious in the 18th century for poltergeist activity. And it became notorious because of the tenant Mary Ricketts, who kept a journal of all sorts of odd goings on. And then a bit of strimming going on there. And then in 1945, Harry Price, the famous paranormal investigator, he, if you can hear me over the noise, he wrote a book called Poltergeist Over England, of which Hinton Ampner was the star. So let's have a look inside. It's all beautifully decorated for Christmas.
What do you call it? The granny in Red Riding Hood. I don't think we've got one of those. So you hire that one.
Right. That was lovely. Ground floor tour only, because it's been done up for Christmas, as you saw, with the fairy tale theme in each room. And also at Hinton there's a nice National Trust shop, lovely gardens and parkland, and a very, very nice restaurant. This is the cafe. I'm not going to get anything because I'm going in the pub in a minute. There there's the servery. And then we have the shop. Lots of volunteers hard at work. So back at the church again, and we're going to leave on the road. And as you can see, there are lots of estate walks as well you can do. Whatever you do, book for Christmas. I was supposed to book today, but I didn't know that. A very nice lady let me in. So we leave through the estate gates. And you walk down past this lovely little thatch cottage, Pulley's Thatch. And the footpath is just to our left. Then we're going to head back into the parkland again, this time on a public right of way. So don't worry if you're not a member or you haven't paid to go in the house, you can walk across here. And just keep following the well-worn path back to the A272. So I think I've spotted a little gate onto the road to the right further back there. But I saw these fellas and I thought, let's have a look at these fellas. Hello! Come up and say hello, don't you? Anyway, we're going to leave the Hinton Ampner estate now. There's the gatehouse, and we're going to leave at the vehicle entrance and through these beautiful main gates. So we're going to turn left towards Winchester and the M3. In actual fact, it's only about 100 yards down the road and we're back at the pub again. So we're just walking back along the wide grass verge. I could do with a bit of a clean, but there's a board to tell you all about the Cheriton battlefield and the walk. So there's a lovely big garden in the pub, there's playthings for the kids, and there's horses also for the kids to look at, lots of tables. Hope you enjoyed that little short walk. It was around about 2.5, possibly getting on towards 3 miles. Just ideal for a nice little walk after a meal in the pub, or if you're going to visit Hinton Ampner, a nice little walk from there. As I say, there's a couple of walks you can do from the pub. Here's Cheriton Battlefield Walk, it's about 4 or 5 miles. My little one takes you to the source of the Itchen, about 2.5, 3 miles. So if you enjoyed that walk, then please like and subscribe, and maybe I'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's go in the pub and have a drink. It's a lovely pub inside, a little rustic bar. So I found myself the best spot with a lovely coffee.